Alright, test 1, 2. Hey, it's me Tommy, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about V-mount batteries, which is related to lighting, but mainly we're going to be talking about Bebop's new 200 watt-hour V-mount micro batteries. I really like Bebop's micro V-mount batteries. I've got a bunch of them. As you can see, I use them to power my sound stand, which I'm talking into. And this was kind of an evolution. I used to use a D-tap to USB-C converter, and I had to stop using that because it made a really high-pitched frequency sound. But then I found Bebob sold a USB to USB-C V-mount plate with a D-tap on the other side. And that port has an above standard output. It's not just the normal 5 watts that normal USB ports have. It actually puts out closer to like 7.5 or 8 watts. Whatever it is just enough to where it'll actually power the MixPre 3 without having it shut down and limit certain features. So I really like the V-mount plate for that. It really completes my sound stand. And I found that this V-mount 150 battery, which I have on here, will actually hold a glass of whiskey just perfectly because it's nice and flat. That's another thing I really like about Bebop's V-mount micros is they're square, so you can stack them on top of each other really easily. I mean, it's a small attention to detail, but it's just, there's a lot of attention to detail going on with all of Bebop's micro batteries. Like, check it out. They all have a built-in light. I mean, you're not going to be lighting yourself with this thing. I mean, I guess you could, but it's really just so if you have a bunch of these batteries in a bag, you can quickly just use it instead of like trying to reach for your phone or whatever. It's just convenient and it's nice. You wouldn't buy these batteries because they have a light on them, but it's just a nice little added feature that a lot of people don't even know exists. I tweeted about it and people that owned these batteries were commenting saying, I didn't know that existed. They also sell cinema batteries like the 290 Cine battery, which is obviously a huge and very nice expensive cinema battery, but we're not talking about those today. The micro batteries come in 4 different sizes. We've got the 45 watt hour, which is my favorite for quick little things. We've got the 98 watt hour battery, which is it's great for travel because the maximum you can fly with is 100 watt hours, and this just skirts that limit. They've also got the 150, which I'm using to power my sound stand, and then now they finally announced the 200 watt hour batteries. These are not cheap batteries. These are premium, expensive V-mount batteries. And one thing that makes them so expensive is they are completely modular. They're maintainable. So after a while, these batteries, they lose maximum capacity, they have a maximum life. Every piece of this battery, if you were to drop it, if some of the plastic cracked or something, or you damaged it, every piece of it is maintainable. It's all modular. So you can send a damaged battery back to Bebob to one of their service centers, and they'll replace the broken parts and send it back to you, and it's a lot cheaper than having to buy a new battery. Also, the way these batteries are designed, they've got a little status light there. See, this one's green. But once the battery reaches 70% of its maximum capacity, or its maximum life, that little LED will turn yellow, indicating that it's about time to consider maintaining or updating your batteries or whatever. But then after it reaches below 50% of its life, then it'll turn red, and then you can, send it back to Bebob, and they'll actually replace all the cells in the battery, so you can have a fresh battery for less than the cost of having to buy a new one. Something else I like about Bebop's batteries that they all have are these twisty D-tap ports. They are rainproof. So as you can see, they've got these little gaps in there that so if rain were to go into it, it will actually just kind of fill those little gaps up, and it won't short the batteries. But other batteries, I think I have one right here. Here we go. So most D-tap ports that aren't Bebop's proprietary twisty D-tap ports, they don't have those little gaps between the plugs there. So, if water gets on it, it'll short those 2 contacts right away. So these are rainproof and shockproof of up to 1.5 meters. So like any distance you would be using, from just standing on the ground and putting the batteries on your camera or on your lights or whatever. If you drop it, it's not going to break. From at least, it's rated for 1.5 meters. I've actually seen someone running over one of their cinema batteries with a car, and it's fine. So these are super durable batteries. And Bebop also sells some pretty interesting accessories. Here we go, yeah, they have a belt clip V-mount D-tap battery thing here. So you can clip a battery onto your belt or your pocket or whatever. If you have an accessory that needs USB or D-tap power, then you want to just take some of the weight of the battery off of whatever the unit is, or the light. You can put it on your belt. They've also got accessories to hold rails. And this is probably one of the more interesting accessories here. So can you see that? So this is their power bar. Obviously it plugs into one of their own batteries. It's because it's got the twist D-tap adapter. So the way these twist D-tap ports work is you can take any regular D-tap thing and plug it into these ports in either direction. So the cord goes out left or right. But this is their power bar now. So you can just plug it into any of their batteries, any of their D-tap ports, and it creates 4 D-tap ports and 2 LEMO ports. So you can rig out whatever you're trying to set up on one of these giant batteries or something. You can just plug all your stuff into this one battery, and then when that battery is dead, you just unplug the power bar, swap out the battery with a fresh one, plug it in, and you're good to go, and you don't have to like re-plug everything into your battery. So that's kind of neat. And one other thing I like about Bebob is their chargers. They're the only company I've seen that sells an actual affordable 8-way charger for the batteries. So you can load up 8 micro V-mount batteries on here. And if you don't have 8 of their micro V-mount batteries, you can also load up, 2 regular sized batteries on the other side, or 1 regular sized battery and 2 micro sized batteries. But basically you could carry up to 8 V-mount batteries on this. You can carry a whole day of shooting's worth of your batteries, take them all back, to wherever you're staying or home or whatever. And then you can just, turn it on and charge the whole stack while you sleep. And then you don't have to wake up halfway through the night swapping out batteries to get everything charged for the next day. The 8-way charger is only $1,000. The only other 8-way charger that I've seen, it's like a $4,000 wall-mounted unit. You can't take that with you. This one is way more affordable considering, and it's portable, so that's awesome. But if you didn't want to spend $1,000 on a charger, they've also got their quick charger. You can use this one charger to charge the 45 watt-hour battery like super quick. So if you unplug it from this thing, you can just plug it directly into the battery and charge that in 45 minutes. But I think the ideal setup is if you get one of these little quick dual chargers, have 2 batteries always sitting on that one, like that, so they're fresh when you need them, and then have the other 2 charged on your equipment. So, just swap them out as they die. So that's kind of the ideal budget setup. I say budget setup, but these batteries, each one of these this is a $500 battery here. All of them also have a USB port built in, which I really appreciate, especially for the V45 micro. I carry this thing around in my pocket all the time just to keep my phone charged. I've had this battery for over a year and I use it constantly, and the LED is still green. It's still got full capacity. So I'm sitting here editing this video and I realized I didn't talk about the most important thing about this freaking battery. Well, there's a couple brands now that are making these smaller little tiny battery like this, but this battery, the 200 watt-hour Bebob micro V-mount battery, is the only one that will actually put out a sustained and is rated for 16 amps of continuous output. That's a huge amount of sustained output for a tiny little battery like this. So if you need a super high output battery and you want it to be this small, this is your option for that. Oh, and I gave myself a haircut. Great batteries. I highly recommend Bebob to everyone that's looking for serious long-term investment batteries that they want to use forever and ever. They're small, they're portable, and they're my favorite. Check them out. There's links to their batteries in the description of this video. Thank you, Bebob, for sending out this equipment for me to take a look at. Hey, this is Tommy from post-production. If you like the music that I used in this video and in most of my recent videos, I've been using Artlist for all of my music because, well, there's a link to why I use it in the description of this video, but basically after you download a song once, you can still use it in future projects that have not been created yet, even after your subscription expires. I'm being very clear about that because most other platforms will still copyright strike you after the fact. If you want to use Artlist music in your videos, there's a link you can use in the description of this one that will give you 2 free months on your subscription. And if you're wondering what's going on behind me, I've got some lights set up for another video I'm going to be doing pretty soon, talking about some of Lupo's new lights, as well as some modifiers and why you should probably get some. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to watch that stuff. Otherwise, peace.